Welcome back to the series of lectures on cybercrime, cybercrime investigation, cybercrime forensics. Today we will discuss about the forensic aspects after the investigation process. In fact, forensics in general for all conventional crimes comes after the case investigation, whereas in the case of cybercrime investigation, even before starting the investigation, we may have to do certain forensic activity online. Then only we will be able to reach the crime scene. For after reaching the crime scene, there is a procedure for search and seizure. Again, in conventional crimes, there are plenty of methods in search and seizure of any gadget, material object. Whereas in case of cybercrime, it is furthermore difficult, and the investigating officer needs to know little bit of forensics at the crime scene during the search and seizure to avoid confusions, to avoid wrong computer to be seized. Similarly, sometimes we may have to do inquiry. During that process also, lot of forensic activity I have to do as an investigator. After completing all this process, we may have to come to the laboratory for final forensic activity. In this case, forensics is required for investigation process for the investigating officer. During the inquiry officer, and during the search and seizure by the investigating officer, at the last, at the laboratory, by the expert, and they will provide the expert evidence in the court of law. In the first three issues, forensics is only meant for making the evidence admissible in the court of law by giving the continuity of the evidence, integrity of the evidence. Because the data is so volatile, we may lose lot of data during the investigation process itself. One. Number two, we may alter without knowing it. Thereby, the evidence may not be admissible unless the investigating officer follows proper forensic procedures. It is highly unlikely if it is mishandled at the crime scene, cannot be taken as an evidence in the court of law. Later, it will be questioned at the time of admissibility itself. That is why we need to know forensic process as an investigator. Second thing, while presenting the evidence, the public prosecutor also may require to understand what exactly it is. Lot of technical jargon during the forensic process, during forensic capturing, during forensic extraction at the crime scene. Thereby, the public prosecutor should know what exactly the forensic concepts are connected with that particular case. Thirdly, the defense counsel also may have to know about all these factors so that they can cross-examine the expert or the investigating officer during the trial. Otherwise, unless the defense counsel understands what is the material produced in the form of soft copy or hard copy, how it is extracted, what are all the rules and regulations followed, what are the best practices followed, all that requires to be known even for the defense counsel. Lastly, the presiding officer, whoever is going to hear that case, unless the presiding officer understands what exactly The public prosecutor is presenting and the defense counsel is cross-examining and the expert or investigating officer giving the depositions and answers. Unless they understand, how will they appreciate the evidence? Thereby, in case of conventional crimes of rape, murder, theft, the normal forensic processes like DNA analysis, chemical analysis, handwriting analysis, even the depth of the knowledge is not there for all these three agencies, doesn't matter. Whereas in case of cyber crimes, depth of analysis, depth of knowledge is required for all these agencies, including the expert. Otherwise, data cannot be produced as an evidence in the court of law, cannot be appreciated in the court of law during the trial. Major issue related to forensics. Generally, if I compare with the hard copy as evidence in the court of law, there are plenty of citations, rules, standard operating procedures to produce hard copy as evidence in the court of law, like handwriting paper, signature, some checks, legal documents, registration documents, and some will, handwriting content. All these things can be presented in the court of law. Court can easily understand the information about it. What exactly it has? It has one information related to the pattern of writing, except that we cannot say the date and time when it is written. It cannot be identified when it is altered. It cannot be identified age of the ink, age of the paper in many attempts. So nothing is extra other than the pattern evidence in the case of handwriting or hard copy. Comparatively, any soft copy evidence in the court of law, if I extract from any storage media, maybe online storage media, offline storage media, whatever I collect, each file will have lot of data associated with that file. What is that lot of data associated? When it is written, when it is accessed, when it is altered, whether that data is produced in this same computer or that data is produced in another computer brought to this computer. If it is brought to this computer, how it is brought? Is it through email? Is it through social media? Is it through pen drive? Is it through CD? Every input, when it is deleted, when it is recently altered, modified, all the information will be available with every single file in the computer soft copy. Thereby, except the handwriting pattern, everything else is possible to be identified in the forensic activity of any soft copy. So, point here is, for the sake of investigation as well as producing the evidence in the court of law to prove additional factors than just handwriting, the soft copy is best. If you know the knowledge, if you know the technology, if you know how to extract it, if you know how to present it. All this data is called. In the hard copy, there will be data, nothing more. Whereas in case of soft copy, data is there in the file and data about the data is also there in the same file. Data about the data, we call it as metadata, where all the attributes which I have spoken and written here, how many words, how many letters, how many times it is altered, all that input will be available with every single file. Thereby, producing Soft copy evidence in the court of law through forensic means has more validity, and it is a technical input in the court of law. Thereby, human evidence can be bought, can be threatened, and human evidence can be questioned. But this is technical evidence. If it is collected properly in a forensic methodology, it can be produced in the court of law very comfortably. There are several processes available in the forensic activity. At the scene of crime, a different methodology of forensics is required for investigating officer to investigate and identify the computer or any storage media. Next, the data has to be collected properly and send it to forensic laboratory. Forensic laboratory will again work out how to handle the particular storage media and different best practices available. They use that, and last it will be presented in the court of law and it will be preserved further so that future further investigations and further analysis can be possible with this same storage media. So part of it is related to police activity, part of it is related to forensic activity, part of related to the court where it will keep the data or the gadgets so that it will not destroy during the trial process. May take years of time. What are all the different forensic activities available? Any memory, all the memories, whatever memory available in the different gadgets of computers, forensics is possible. Any different memory, maybe CD, maybe pen drive, maybe online, maybe emails, maybe computer, maybe solid state drive. There is forensic methodology which is called memory forensics. Second part is mobile phone forensics. Mobile phone also will have the memory. Then why there is a different concept of mobile phone forensics? The reason is in the memory forensics of any operating system used in the computers, this data storage in a different method, and mobile phone, the data storage is in a different method. Extraction is totally different. Many a times the best of the tools also may not recover deleted data in the mobile phones. Best of the tools may not be able to recover the application like WhatsApp application data, different applications data inside the mobile phone many a times. If my tool suits the model of the mobile phone, then it can recover everything. And the process of recovery is different from memory forensics. Third is live forensics. Live forensics means in case of memory forensics, we take out the memory and then we do the analysis following the standard operating procedures. Whereas in case of live forensics, computers or servers cannot be switched off. For example, if something happens in the bank or any corporate office where servers are connected with the thousands of customers which cannot be stopped for forensic activity. And there is a methodology even in the forensics when the system is still running from the starting point of the analysis of that day prior to whatever activity is there that can be captured as snapshot and then analyze in the live forensics without switching off the servers. Similarly, data may be available in cloud. There also relatedly similar activity we have to do. And similar apart from live forensics in the mobile phones or in the computers, different applications are stored. Different applications behave differently depending on the application features and construction how it is made. And for such there are several tools available to recover the data. Similarly, audio video forensics. Every audio content, whether I speak or my other person in my tone, they mimic, or using the deep fake tools, they use audio. That audio forensics also possible to do and tell whether so and so person has spoken or it is a fake voice of him. Very easily it can be analyzed. And video forensics. There are two things in video forensics. One is investigation based video forensics, where we can enhance the image so that number plate will be visible, face can be visible. Further investigation is possible for investigation purposes. Similarly, video forensics, whether the video is a genuine video, whether it is edited and attached, whether it is morphed, whether any artificial intelligence tools are used for creating such video, all that is possible through video forensics. There are several tools out there. We will discuss in next few slides. And we have network forensics. Many a times, system network might have been hacked by internal elements of the company or external people. In all such cases, network forensics is needed. We will identify the packets, how it is going in, going out, and coming in. What is the specification of the firewall, how data is coming. There are several event logs, several web logs, several firewall logs, how they behave. All that information can be worked out through network forensics. Similarly, nowadays you are all listening to several stories about drones. Drones for spying, drones for attacking, drones for recording. Drones are there everywhere. If drone memory is found, drone is found and its memory is found, how to do the forensic analysis? That is also a different ball game to identify, because it will have different latitude and longitude information. That also we will be collecting. Database forensics. Yes, you have heard several cases where in the examinations of intermediate, 10th class, engineering, entrance examinations, and all these areas where examination process people, they alter in the database itself. Identifying the database for financial activity, manipulation, or marks manipulation is not easy subject. We require the original computer where that database is stored, and that can be analyzed properly to say that when and what type of data is analyzed, how it is analyzed, with what user ID it is analyzed. All the information can be identified in the database forensics. Similarly, as I told you earlier, in the crime scene search and seizure procedure, there is on-site forensics. While investigating a particular mail, let me tell one example. While investigating a particular mail, its origin, investigating officer visited a particular office or a company in which thousands of computers are available. Because the public IP is indicating the company, he will go there and say that from your company one mail is originated. We have to seize all the computers. Can they do that? What is the mistake of the company? I can't victimize the company by taking away all the computers from the company for the sake of investigation. So what is the next procedure? There is a on-site forensics called triaging. It is a pendrive-like tool with the forensic software, which can be connected with all the computers available in the company. Let us say 1,000 computers. Give keyword command which email ID you are searching for. Out of 1,000 computers, hardly one or two computers may give a red flag with the keyword observation in that. Basing on that, those two computers are related to the seizures. So we have to do forensics there of 1,000 foreign computers with a little bit of keyword search activities or image search activities. We will collect the information out of 1,000, one or two computers which are relevant for the case. We will seize those computers only, and we will further do the investigation. As I told you, in the inquiry process of the investigation, What they do, they have to inquire who could have handled those two computers during that day at that particular time. If any log is there, that has to be analyzed, and then we have to identify the person who has used that computer. So, on site forensics during the inquiry process itself, lot of activity can be done. One may ask me a question: what if all the computers are searched directly? Yes, that is one possibility. But while switching on searching directly, we may alter the evidence. Thereby, it may not be suitable for court proceedings. It may not be admissible in the court if I add any data or delete any data from the computers during the search process. Whereas in case of triaging, nothing will be added onto the computer, nothing will be deleted from the computer. That process is called forensic process. Similarly, online cloud forensics. Like live forensics, cloud forensics also we have to do without switching it off. Cloud is not in our hands, it is in some other location. Using the credentials of the company, I have to access the data, whatever memory available there. Then we have to download it in the form of imaging and then work on cloud also. GPS forensics, several nowadays GPS tools are available in the cars and taxis and several other gadgets available related to GPS. So GPS analysis requires a different tool and information. We have to collect it in the form of latitude, longitude, altitude, everything. That has to be done. Similarly, web forensics. Lot of activity people they do online, and by the time we go there, nothing will be available in their computers. We have to do web forensics, how it has originated, whether that page was available in the same website a few years back, now how it is. All that activity can be analyzed, particularly in case of multi-level marketing and database related online cheating through websites. Registry forensics. In the computer, if the original computer is available, then in the registry we can do the analysis as to every event of the computer, including the date change and time patterns, any alterations in the computers, any alteration and removal of the software, any added software or removal software, versions of the software, everything can be analyzed in the registry forensics. So, in the forensic activity, not just like some forensics is there, some tool is connected, data is recovered, and that data is presented in the court of law. It is not so. Each and every activity, whatever we do during the analysis, requires some kind of methodological collection, analysis, and presenting the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Because whatever technical evidence is there, that is not opinion, that is a report. So, what report we are going to give in general should have appropriate authenticity. Data, whatever we collect, data, whatever we analyze, data, whatever we present should be identical and same. Nothing is changed during the examination or investigation. Can anybody do this? Can anybody do the forensic activity? No, because every computer or storage media will have several information related to the person. Some is related to the crime, some is not related to the crime, it is his personal life. If we access everything, then we are invading his privacy. Even if he is a criminal, we can't invade his privacy. One example is we are searching for one computer through which he has sent one abusive email. That is only one case. In his computer, he might have kept his will or his father's will or his wife or girlfriend's naked images. All those things are nothing to do with the case. How can we view them? It amounts to invading his privacy. So that is the reason why To access any computer using the forensic tools, one must have legal authority. How legal authority comes? Through court. Court will declare this investigating officer, this forensic expert, this particular person can access the data available here. So that is the major thing which we need. Authority to access the data without violating the principles of privacy. Number two, every evidence, whatever we collect, there are certain rules and regulations laid down in the Act. All the acts related to BNSS, BAS, we have to follow. All the evidences rule should be followed. How we collect, how we do the analysis. And thirdly, I have to follow IT Act, Computer Law. What is that IT Act? What it says? Inspector and above can be the investigating officers. So only inspector and above can seek the legal permission to authorize somebody to examine. So I have to follow all the rules and regulations laid down in the IT Act, and registration of the case also depending on the IT Act. Lastly, the forensic principles. Forensic principles we will be discussing in the next few slides. We have to follow cardinal principles through which no data in the forensic process is altered or edited. Such forensic principles we have to work on. To compare how to do that forensic principles to work on, there will be hash value between two storage medias of imaged storage media and all. Both hash values should match after the examination also. Thereby, during my examination as a forensic expert, nothing is changed. That hash concept also we will be discussing in few slides later. Evidential integrity. Nothing must be changed on the original. Proof of integrity must be available. Must be evidential continuity. These two are two concepts. Must be able to account for all actions at all times involving any and all suspect materials. Not one or two, all suspect materials. Must maintain accurate handling, record keeping and reporting. What is exactly this evidential integrity? If I am seizing a computer having one hard drive, let us say, at the time of seizing the hard drive, a particular date and time, after that seizure, no data should be added onto the original hard drive. One. Number two, I have to take one copy of the original hard drive onto another hard drive, and I have to do all the analysis process on the imaged hard drive, not on the original. By the time I have to return it, original should be intact. During my analysis process, original due to electrical process or any other process should not be damaged because it has the original evidence. So what I have to take is I have to take the copy of this. If I take only a copy of partial data, again that is not valid. So for original hard drive, there is a fingerprint which is called as hash value. Whatever memory is there which will produce one particular hash value of different algorithms. And this hash value, after imaging it onto the new sterile disk, will have the same content and the same hash value. Then I can say that both are originals. To prove the fact, by saying both hash values are same, then this also becomes primary evidence and I can keep this original evidence intact. Its integrity I can maintain. If any data altered in the imaged disk, the copied disk, the hash value changes. Thereby integrity maintains. And continuity. Today I do analysis. I open the disk and do the analysis. Tomorrow I do 10 days I do, 20 days I do, 1 month I do. The actions, whatever I do, when I have opened it, what I have done, whenever I have, everything should be logged in the system, not in the computer. In the forensic system, what I have done during that process, everything should be bookmarked and properly maintained, a supporting report what we have done with the memory. This is a toughest thing for forensic process. So these two concepts, if I keep remembering, I can maintain the integrity of the evidence. And forensic tasks, maybe individual forensic or laboratory forensic, investigation forensic or laboratory forensic. These three are the tasks. One is collection of data. For collection of data, as I told you earlier, from the original hard drive, I have to take complete bits, zeros and ones, every zero and one available in the original disk. I have to take an image in the name of bit stream imaging. All the data will come onto this disk. That is collection of data. Next is analysis of data through forensic software. Third is presentation of data. Analysis, I have to do the analysis based on the case related facts. After analysis, I have to present the data by extracting that particular case related data to the court in the human readable format. If I put it in the proprietary data format, probably in the court it may not be visible without that proprietary software. Thereby, I have to give information to the court. I have to present appropriately the information, how it is recovered, how it is analyzed, and what exactly it contains. During the presentation of data, many a times we give soft copy, because if I give 5 GB of hard copy, soft copy is 5 GB. If I want to give hard copy, if I give a printout, it will be more than Qutub Minar or Charminar. So such huge content will be there even for 5 GB of data, and we are talking about 2 terabytes, 3 terabytes, 10 terabytes data. Thereby, we cannot give the printouts in general for all the cases. For cases, simple cases like one email related case, one social media post related, we can give printouts also. But in most of the situations, data presentation in the court of law is a Herculean task. Forensics, how it happens? What is the concept? How the data will be available in the computer related to metadata also. If you see this particular slide, if I want to put that tomato in the same bottle, I can't do that without processing the tomato. I have to make it as juice and put it in the bottle. But if I want tomato back, can I get it? No. So this is one way compiling the data. It will go as processed data into the bottle, and then it will not come out in the same process. Forget about that tomato again. Only we have to take the juice. Whereas in the case of computer, if I put tomato image in the computer, it will go as binary data, zeros and ones, by compiling its data with some application, and goes into the computer storage media, and whenever I want, that application will be initiated, and that application will bring back that zeros and ones by decompiling the data into again a tomato. So this process of compiling and decompiling and further processing in the computer will leave lot of traces about the data, how it has been handled, when it is handled, so every date and time available in the computer, that will be captured, where it is stored in the computer, because data is stored in the highly dense area of hard drive. Some signal should be there, which application can recover that, which location it is available, on what day it was placed there. All that information, if it is available along with the application related code, then it will bring back the same onto the computer. So to access all these things, it will leave several footprints in the hard drive. That footprint is useful for further forensic analysis. This is where the forensics comes into the system, and we do the forensic activity based on the compilation and decompilation using of apps and using of several operating systems and processing methodology. We will get the information multiple locations. This is what forensics all about. In the next session, we will discuss about further more related to forensics. Thank you.